Like I need to adjust this mic. There we go. Um, so this is another weird one where I do um, podcast on my own, and I'm looking into two cameras, so my eyes may go all over the place because I am still a beginner at this shit. Sorry for people who don't like cursing. I do like cursing sometimes. So if y'all don't want to tune in, you don't have to. This is an episode where I want to talk a little bit of real talk about my downfalls and my, I guess, things that I'm not proud to talk about, and things that I think are deficiencies in me. And I want to give you the solution that I choose to take at the moment in order to, so to speak, combat these or just attack these things that disrupt my flow and my way of being. Because as of lately, I've been shifting my strategy and doing a lot more upfront work and working with more just legit players. And I've been super blessed, and I've been manifesting so many amazing things into my life in these past few weeks. That being said, there are so many doubts that creep in. This BMI check was it's just like was a humbling experience. It was for $75 royalty checks. And mind you, I made five figures last year from sync, from upfront work, from ad work, from library work, and I get $75. This is a nice slice of humble pie that Roy just ate a few days ago. So I'm going through this shit with whoever you are, listening, watching, whatever. And I'm a human just like you, and I think that it's important to have more people in that community kind of feel, a vibe of just, we're in this together. And yeah, so I recommend y'all take out a little work. Fuck, I'm becoming a teacher. Notebook, which is what I do. It's how I write my tasks. It's how I do my. I'm showing it to the cameras. Come on, camera. One camera doesn't catch it, but these are the things that I am currently facing, and I'm going to show you a technique. I'm going to get into the faults and to these uncomfortable places in my being that I am being challenged by, and I'm going to tell you how I am going to take these head on. So, I think I talked about this in the past. I get forgetful about meetings, especially. Um, and I'm not by any means proud of this. I don't think it's a cool thing. I don't think it's a cool trait. I think it's pretty much like it's fucked me so many times. So for me, this is one. It's a big thing. It's the first thing that I wrote, so there must be a reason for that. Um, and we'll get to the solution in a bit. uh, I hurry to reach out, which is a thing that I've been kind of dealing with. I feel like patience is the thing that I'm struggling with the most. But I guess the symptom is that I see somebody with like a great placement, and I hurry to reach out and to try to work with them. and that's specifically for labels. So that's something that I'm working on taming and playing with. I get tangled in thoughts, which it's always been me. I've been always the guy to just like ruminate in thoughts and be that weird person who everybody needs to go like, hey, wake up, bro. So I've always been mm, that person, and it's been sitting on my heart for a while now, and I am ready to change that. Um, I have a big one, which is I tend to not measure and monitor progress, which is like funny because you guys are listening to me and saying, "Oh, but he told us how much he's making. He's la la la." This thing has been a work in progress in the past. I'm 32, and it started in the last 2 years. I'm there's a part of me that's ashamed in this, but I feel like the truth will set you free, and it's setting me free right now. I'm coming clean because this is something that I've been sinning in, and I'm ready to take head on, because I want to get better. I want my dog to get better. I want all the people around me to get better. And if I don't measure the progress that I'm going through, how can I help the ones around me measure theirs and become better? Um, and don't get me wrong, I'm pretty happy with where I am right now in my life. I'm satisfied. I have a great, like, look at where I'm sitting. I'm super grateful and happy for so many things, and I really want to improve the fact that um, something in me doesn't know why I deserve it, if that makes sense. Like, I know I've been producing music I've put in my 10 hours, but you know, things that are measured can be understood more easily. And that's where I'm going with this is basically what you don't measure, you don't know. And that's how I kind of choose to that's what I've been grappling with. Okay. On to the next one. Uh, I tend to want I tend to want to seem like I know things. And y'all hear me in the podcast, and I'm curious as a child, and I'm asking a lot of questions, and I'm being vulnerable, but this hasn't always been this way, and I'm still a person who is stubborn and who wants to look like they know. So, and there was a podcast I did with Dana where he was speaking to how Rick Rubin approaches things he doesn't know, and he's like, the second that Rick Rubin doesn't know something, he admits it and puts it out in the world, and I admire that, and I want to become more like that. So here we go. Okay, what's that? We are in number 7 now. Um, mm, mm, um, 6. Sorry, I talk more than I listen. This is something that sucks as well. And again, I'm not giving myself credit, maybe because I'm not monitoring myself, but I feel like in a lot of cases, when I feel like I know something, I tend to close myself from outside information. So I guess it correlates with the last one. It connects with the last one, but it still is a freaking bummer. And I just feel like a lot of times I'm closing myself to information because I think I know it, as opposed to listening to nuances. And maybe there's something new, and maybe there's something that I can get and learn from this. As opposed to that, I would look at things with a bit of a jaded perspective. So that's something I really want to combat and take head on. Uh, I get tense when confronted, and that's been a theme in my life. You know, like when somebody calls me out, I get all like, uh, even in the internet when somebody like sends me hate mail or tells me that the podcast is shit, which has happened like a few times. I mean, the podcast gets a lot of love, and once in a while there's a troll, and I tend to like tense up or want to get emotional, or and that connects to like the hurry to reach out, the need to kind of get emotional. And um yeah, so that's that. Number 8, i I tend to go away from hard things. And it's funny, people who know me are like, you're the most, like, you're a real hustler. You hustle all the time, you work hard, you get shit done. And to me, I mean, it's nice it's a good compliment to have, but I really feel like I can step it up. And again, being in the place that I am, and being in this beautiful space that I am right now, sometimes makes me um want to not get out to the world and not do things that I would do when I lived in New York, or in a place like that where I used to really uh, work for what's mine, so to speak, um, and go through hard things. So that's something I really want to take head on and just do more hard things. Um, I tend to close up when things don't go as expected. Damn, I know somebody's gonna resonate with this one. And yeah, I was always this entitled kid who thought shit should go their way. Um, and yeah, I don't know what the reason for this is. I think that it was given legitimacy at some point in my life, and I just kept on going with it. And every time something doesn't go as expected, even if I'm super happy and enjoying life, the second something doesn't go as expected, there's a resistance in me that I let take over me. And that's something I am really looking to work on in 2024. So one more thing is, when I make when I make less money, I am feeling less worthy, and that's a big one. And right now, I'm happy to tell y'all I'm making less money than I'm making usually, but I'm also opening myself to other opportunities. So I feel like things are happening in such a way that there's always like a balance and a counterbalance. Like there's something and there's something to balance it. Well, you're not making money, as much money right now. Well, uh what about opportunities? Are you getting as much opportunities? And right now I'm getting more opportunities than I've ever gotten. It's just like, it's overwhelming, and it's amazing, and it's a lot of things, and I don't know what to do with it at times. But this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at, and this is I am feeling sometimes less worthy when I make less money, because I want to be able to support my family, and I want to be able to buy my loved ones good things, and I want to be able to give more as well in 2024, as I already said in the first podcast, because I don't have kids, because I have a little puppy who's amazing and is resting behind me here. But that's as much as it goes, and I want to be able to be a solid rock for the people around me. And not having the amount of money I perceive that I should be making right now can make me have thoughts of am I worthy of this whole thing. So these are all the things that I'm grappling with, and I hope that there's somebody who resonates with this. But now I'm going to get to the solution. So last year, when was it? It must have been March-ish. No, before March. No. Anyway, it wasn't. I think it was in 2022 now, middle of 2022. I did um, a coaching course. Yes, I've learned to be a coach in a really interesting method that I still use till this day, and I've thought about it because I'm going to use it on myself, and hopefully one or two of y'all will be able to use it on themselves as well. The reason this came up was because of the amazing Clint music. I say the amazing. He's I don't know Clint, but I just see the way he moves, and I know that his intentions and his information is good stuff. I started because of him, and got to give credit where credit is due. So he was posting on Instagram a video of him um, doing affirmations with his child, and it was just so sweet. And he was like, "I didn't say that thing," and he said, "Do you want to say it again?" With the Clint voice. "Do you want to say it again?" And it's also his morning voice, I think. So, but anyway, he put these affirmations, and it really resonated with me. It was like a light bulb moment of where are my affirmations? Why haven't I been doing affirmations in the last whoever knows? And there was no answer. So I'm going to show you a mixture of what Clint was doing and what I've studied and learned in this amazing coaching method that I've studied under in 2022. So, if you are, of course, if you are operating machinery, don't do this shit. Okay. And now that the warning is due, I'm going to walk you through it. So, basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these things that I don't feel amazing about in myself. And it's not an easy thing to do in the morning, but once you get a hang of this technique, I feel like you'll immediately go to the positive, which will condition your mind to go into the positive place of thinking towards the solution. So you say the things that you've written, and when you say them, you take a deep breath, just like I've shown you. And what that is going to do is that is going to release the shame. And you can say it in any tone that you want. You can cry, you can laugh, you can do whatever. But after every time you say it slow. So I forget meetings. See how it makes you feel? Take a deep breath. You're filling your body with air and you're releasing. Your body now knows that everything's okay. You're forgetting meetings, but you're still safe. You're still okay. And then you move on. I hurry to reach out. See how the body feels. And you can do that again and again until you release the charge around it. Because if there's a heavy charge, then you probably don't want to move on to the next step, which is giving the contrast to what exists. So for me, the first one was I forget meetings. Let's say I've worked with it a few times. I've released it out of my system. Now I want to say I want to replace it with something, right? So I'm going to say I remember all the meetings on my calendar, and then I'm taking that breath in, breath out. Usually that feels amazing uh, to me to do that, to do something like that. So let me give you another one. I hurry to reach out. It feels kind of tense in my body still, but I am gonna invent something to combat that. And I hurry to reach out will be replaced with I take my time and do my research before reaching out to companies. That feels awesome. I'm doing some self therapy here. Okay. I get tangled in thoughts. And now I'm going to replace it. I am focused and present. Whew, that felt great. So I took 3 of them, and I'm going to take all the 10 and do them by myself. And what will happen is in the mornings to come, I will first release these. That'll probably happen after a few times I say these downfalls. But what's going to happen is I'm going to start saying only the affirmations with the breath. So let's say I usually say in the mornings, uh, I am an amazing dog father and partner. That feels amazing. Okay. It just feels amazing for me. I hope that somebody is going to take this and do this and try it for their own. And the other thing is you can take it and again, try it for your own. Do it your own way. If you're not feeling comfortable with talking your downfalls out loud, that's okay. You can just go to the affirmations. I would write them down if I were you and go through these. But the way that I see things, healing happens through dealing. Whoa! What? I just invented this. I'm sure it exists somewhere. I'm sure this exists somewhere. Somebody please go and see where this comes from. I'm gonna Google it after. But healing comes from dealing. Jesus. And not dealing drugs. Dealing with reality. And the reality is that I do forget meetings sometimes. And it's fun. And right now, when I speak about it, it's a little bit less heavy. It's maybe a little bit more, uh, um, uh, a little bit more. I feel like a stupid child that forgets a lesson, but that's cool. That's okay. And healing comes from dealing. Whoosh. I gotta end this here. I gotta drop the mic, which I'm not gonna drop because it's a very nice mic. Um, but yeah, go. I would go in re like re repurpose these things that you're not happy with in yourself, which is cool. It's okay to not be happy with some things in our personality, in my opinion. We're always going to be like that. We're always going to be having things to deal with because that is life. And yes, and this is how I these are my thoughts about this. And y'all are super welcome to let me know what y'all thought about this weird ass podcast I just did, and and let me know if you used it for yourself, if you do something like that. What are your practices? And if these practices helped you, man, I'm happy. Like, man, I'm happy because they help me tap into something for sure. So I love y'all. I love whoever is listening, and I'm out. Sync Gems episode, whoever the fuck knows. Peace.